for me, what feels so exciting about us being able to talk together is, as I was working through the patterning instinct, I was also reading your amazing books, The Great Turning and Change the Story, and it felt so exciting to me to be looking at these parallel ways where we share so much of our understanding of what we see as being wrong with the underlying values of our current civilization and what the potentials are for reformulating that. And I think something we both share that is not necessarily shared by all of the people working so hard on the progressive fronts to change things is this recognition that we have to go to the deepest layers of the story, the deepest underlying values, rather than just kind of changing things on the surface or whatever. And so one of the issues that leads to is this question, well, how can we do that? Like, there's so much urgent stuff that needs to be done tomorrow, that needed to be done, years ago, never mind right now. Isn't it a bit, how do we do these kind of long-term shifts in culture? Well, it's a little bit like here's the Titanic, and it needs to be like moving away from these icebergs at super speed, and we're talking about this kind of long change in trajectory. So this is an issue that I'm always struggling with, and I've got my own thoughts, but I'd love to just hear your thoughts on that issue. How do we deal with the long-term needs, the deep structural shifts, and the urgency right now?
Okay. Good question, Jeremy. The first and most fundamental lesson that comes out of what Jeremy has written, and it's something that those of us who've been immersed in other cultures begin to recognize, is that, in a sense, what is distinctive about our human nature is our ability to choose our nature by choosing our framing story. And this is something that we've never been aware of as a species before until we got into this depth of intercommunication, both travel and through electronic communication, so that we have become a truly global species. And I often think about this in terms of when Fran and I first lived in Ethiopia in the mid-60s. Our only communication with any place was snail mail. And now places that we'd go into and had no gas stations and we'd never see another car, was totally going back thousands of years, literally, now have internet cafes. And this is a fundamental shift. Now, what this does, it gives us a capacity to shift in an instant. And to, by reframing cognitively, recognize the depth of the shift that we have to undergo as a species.